Democracy is always a work in progress. Social justice is always a work in progress across the globe. Union Ministry has cited the lack of funds in their program to educate Dalits abroad. You look at Uttar Pradesh, look at Bihar, look at Jharkhand. They are 100 years behind us. We have created a political democracy. But for social democracy, you have to fight every single morning. Just because Selvaperunthagai is a Dalit leader who is also the Congress chief in the state of Tamil Nadu, we cannot kind of conflate it with the treatment of Dalits in Villupuram.
Hello, Federal viewers. Welcome to a chat with senior journalist Mr. Peer Mohammad. We will be talking to him about treatment of Dalits and Dalit leaders in Tamil Nadu in the DMK regime. Hello, sir. Welcome to the show.
Vanakkam.
Vanakkam, sir. Mr. Peer, Tamil Nadu Congress chief Selvaperunthagai has recently said that he was disrespected in a temple function despite being an MLA of the constituency Sri Perumbudur. He was not treated well in a temple function. What's your perspective on this? Do you think this is an isolated incident or this can be seen across Tamil Nadu?
I think there are conflicting versions about this particular incident. That we know that temples have a system of giving priority to the VIPs. Particularly, you have special darshan and paid darshan and common darshan. He expected, like any other VIP, he was also expecting a VIP treatment there. But because he was made to wait, according to the temple officials, he arrived a bit late, so he had to be taken in a little bit late. But we have to see the context in which it happened. Immediately, the Hindu Religious and Charitable Endowments Minister Segar Babu called on him at his residence and told him, no, look, the problem is solved. You raised an issue. You said you were not invited, and then you were invited, and you went and had a darshan. Now the problem is solved. The minister went to his residence and amicably settled the issue. I think to see this in the light of Dalits being discriminated in temples, or to see this in the light of just because Selvaperunthagai is a Dalit leader who is also the Congress chief in the state of Tamil Nadu, we cannot kind of conflate it with the treatment of Dalits in Villupuram or in Tiruvannamalai, which is a different issue.
You think this is just an isolated incident, and that too it was there were some misunderstandings, there were some miscommunications, and that resulted in this delay. So you think this does not apply on ground for other Dalits?
Yeah, other Dalits, they are facing a serious challenge. Not the challenge
faced by
Selvaperunthagai. He is in a different class altogether, because we know HRNCE allows for paid darshan, special darshan, and also common darshan, which is free. The entry is free. So there is a monetization to run the temple. So you have all these categories happening. So, so here he entered into the temple as a VIP. So it doesn't, we cannot conflate it with the case of Dalits who are facing discrimination.
There are many cases that are filed against the violence, caste violence, and that are not being addressed properly. So what's your response on this? I can understand if an opposition party criticizes that the DMK is not giving importance to Dalits, not addressing their issues, but DMK's own ally, the CPM leaders, criticize DMK is not working properly to address the grievances of Dalits.
There is an issue in Vadakadu that has to be dealt with. There is an issue in Vengavel that has to be dealt with. That is being dealt with, but you also have a system, social hierarchy system, where you have to fight the fight also. You have to fight on a daily basis. The state patronage or the social justice framework can be an enabler. But on the ground, it is you facing the daily reality of violence. and you have to have creative imagination to counter that violence. Like what Thiruvannamalai, being an ally of DMK, has been doing. He has that creative leadership, creative imagination, how to deal with a challenge that is faced by people in Dharmaburi or people in Villupuram. No, he has a creative plan. That is very important. CPM also has a creative plan of engaging with the government, pressing the government. That is great. But at the same time, we have to understand that it is also a fight fought on a daily basis on the ground.
What's your perspective about the DMK's, the current regime from 2021 to till now? They are facing election next year. What's your assessment of DMK's performance in applying the social justice policies to have a level playing ground for Dalits?
In fact, they have done phenomenally well. Union Ministry has cited lack of funds in their program to educate Dalits abroad. They have stopped a lot of students this year, citing lack of funds. Okay. That is what Union government has done. But Tamil Nadu, despite facing a very, very hostile Union government, they have maintained that every year there are scores of Dalit and tribal students going and getting educated abroad. So that they have never stopped. And look at the Dalit entrepreneurship that has developed on the lines of Startup Tamil Nadu. They have done phenomenal work. As I have said, social justice is a work in progress globally and in Tamil Nadu. And we have come so far to a situation when we can tell in the face of people who are intimidating Dalits, who are trying to stop Dalits, and you cannot do this.
DMK has long positioned itself as a champion of social justice policies and comes up with lots of new schemes for underprivileged and oppressed people. But how about many temples being sealed during caste violence? Still, in many temples, Dalits are denied entry.
For example, in Villupuram, Melpadi village, there is a Draupadi Amman temple where the Dalits were denied entry by the caste Hindus. Then they protested. There was a lot of challenge for them to enter the temple in Melpadi village in Villupuram district. So the authorities did the right thing. They sealed the temple. They said, you keep fighting. There is no peace, we are sealing the temple. There are a lot of people saying, why should authorities seal the temple? I will give the example of...
yes, even I have that question.
Yeah.
How come sealing a temple will solve the issue?
Yeah, I will give you another example. Same thing happened in Tiruvannamalai, Harahara Pakam, where a temple had a similar challenge. The authorities decided they are fighting. Let us seal the temple. The caste Hindus came for reconciliation. That is the strategy. The strategy of authorities is, you're fighting. You paid, the caste Hindus paid for the construction, the Dalits paid for the construction, you are not allowing. They are helping the upkeep of the temple, you are not allowing them inside. So now I am sealing the temple. Then 2 days later, the caste Hindus came for a reconciliation and said, we will allow the Dalits. We built the temple together, now we will allow them. We don't want the Dalits to be kept out of it. They came for a compromise. The caste Hindus came for a compromise. And then what happened? No, there is another thing happened. They put a couple of caste Hindu youth in the prison for intimidating Dalits while they tried to end. We don't want our children to be in jail for this. So they opened the temple.
Sir, in the case of this Archaga training schools being run by the government, a couple of Archagas who were trained in the government center, they belong to different castes. They belong to underprivileged and Dalits also. But when we spoke to them, many of them told us they were given jobs, but they are not working in the main shrines. They are employed by the government, but in the sub shrines, they are not allowed to enter the main sanctorium of the temple. So, don't you think this is an eyewash scheme by the government? They come up with a training center, they train people, but again there is a discrimination that prevails.
I would like to talk about what Barack Obama said about democracy. Democracy is always a work in progress. Social justice is always a work in progress across the globe, in the oldest democracy of the world and the largest democracy of the world. The thing is, you can train them. Even a woman Voduvar is
Performing.
placed by the government of Tamil Nadu under this scheme, and she is going and doing her mantras in the temple. So what is happening is, the case you are talking about, I have seen personally in Sidambaram temple, there is a shrine which is not the main shrine, but one of the subordinate shrines where government appointed Archaga is there. He is getting his pay, he is getting, but that is not one of the main shrines. So the income for the priest also will be less. But the fact that there is a proactive measure from the government of Tamil Nadu to put them in all places of importance, particularly in Sanctum Sanctorum, which may not be the much visited Sanctum Sanctorum, but it is still a Sanctum Sanctorum. Even that step is a great step when you look at social justice, the history of social justice in the country. Currently, if you look at why we are now in Tamil Nadu, you look at Uttar Pradesh, look at Bihar, look at Jharkhand, they are 100 years behind us. It is because they are not able to do even this bit. So our idea is, now that we have come this far, let us push the envelope a little further, but not damage what is done already. Build on the existing system of social justice and expand the possibilities of social justice. That is what we are trying to do.
So how long did it take Tamil Nadu government to bring this into real practice?
In fact, the former Chief Minister, DMK Chief Minister, Kalaignar M. Karunanidhi, he brought the act in 1970 when he was the Chief Minister. But it faced a lot of legal hurdles, and they went to the High Court, and then they went to the Supreme Court. It faced a lot of challenges. 2021, when Mr. M.K. Stalin became the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, one of the first things that he had done is to appoint 24 Archagas who are trained. About 200 plus people are trained under the all caste people can be priests of temples. He brought about 24 of them, appointed them in iconic temples, including Mylapore Kabalishwara temple, Madurai Meenakshi Amman temple. He appointed them in all those places. That was a great step, looking at the kind of legal hurdles the act faced since 1970. We know that in our neighboring Kerala in 2002, they made an attempt and appointed a Ilava community member as a priest. So looking at the social challenge, like Ambedkar, the architect of Indian Constitution, said, through the written word of the longest written constitution in the world, we have created a political democracy. But for social democracy, you have to fight every single morning. That is what is happening in the case of making people from all castes into priests of temples. That is what is happening.